Hey, how's it going? I would like to tell you a little bit about the Rolling Stones and my relationship with the Rolling Stones these many years. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be opening this box. That's really the point. Because I like the Rolling Stones, and I have liked the Rolling Stones for a long time. And this is a box set of Rolling Stones records. So anyway, here's the deal. Back in the 80s, let me open this while I'm talking, make it seem like something's going on. Back in the 80s, I was a teenager and I was getting into old music of my parents' generation, although they weren't actually into the Rolling Stones themselves. But I was getting into the Beatles and like Led Zeppelin a little bit, so I decided, I went to see the Rolling Stones with my family in 1989 on the Steel Wheels tour in Clemson, North Carolina. We took like a bus from Augusta, Georgia. Me and my dad, my stepmom, and my sister, I think there were four of us, or me, and I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I loved it. I had just been getting into the Rolling Stones a little bit at the time. I remember they play, the opener was not Guns N' Roses, it was Living Colour. And I guess I liked them, I don't remember them. We were kind of far away from the stage, as you might imagine. Anyway, so after that concert, I remember I loved Sympathy for the Devil. I remember going, woo, woo, the whole time. I was probably 14 or something. And that was great. So I didn't have any Rolling Stones really, but I did buy, for some reason, Love You Live on cassette soon after that. So I listened to that all the time. An odd entry. But I also had Beggar's Banquet. I bought the Beggar's Banquet record at some local record store. And I love that. A friend of mine had Hot Rocks on cassette, and I dubbed that, and I listened to that all the time. I love the Rolling Stones. I later got into like the meaty stuff, like Exile on Main Street and stuff. I really, really liked. There it is. This is not really an unboxing video per se because this thing came out like 5 years ago, and I'm sure there's already a million unboxing videos. I do, by the way, like the outer box being a Rolling Stones box. These little blue foam things on it. Anyway, 1 year in high school, like 1988 or 89, my friend asked me what album or what cassette I would want for my birthday. So I said, Their Satanic Majesty's Request by the Rolling Stones. And he was like, the what by the Rolling Stones? He was not into this music at all. And so I said it again. He wrote it down. Their what? Satanic? Really? Satanic? Satanic Majesties? How do you spell Majesties? So I told him all this, and he did give me the cassette one time. And the way I found out about it is because in school one day at high school, we had like a fire drill or some drill or something. We had to go out, and while we were waiting for that, we had to stay outside for like 20 minutes or something. While we were waiting for that to be called back into the school that afternoon, we went and sat in his car, me and two or three friends or something. We just sit in his car listening to music or whatever. And he said, I got you that cassette. And he hadn't wrapped it or anything because it was a casual high school friends relationship, but he gave it to me, and it was Their Satanic Majesty's Request. And so he said, you want to listen to it? I was like, all right. So I'd never heard it before. I'd heard of it, but I'd never heard it before. So he put that in the cassette deck, and I was like, da, 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 dun, 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 dun. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And everybody else was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I have long loved the Rolling Stones. The reason I bought this is because I don't have any Rolling Stones vinyl anymore. This is, of course, the box set from 1971, Sticky Fingers, through Blue and Lonesome in 2016. I better get this out so you have something to look at. There it is. Ugh, I'm going to destroy it. I always destroy everything that's beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm not a big box set buyer. I did a video about a month or two ago about a George Harrison box set I bought. That's the only other box set I own, I've ever bought, really. I'm not a box set kind of guy, but I guess I am now. The George Harrison box set took me, when I first found out it existed, it took me a couple weeks to actually talk myself into buying it. I found out this existed, and it took me about 18 hours to decide. When I first saw it somewhere on some website, I was like, $400 something, I'm not buying that. And then 18 hours later, the next day, I was like, credit card number. I got this from You Discover Music in America. I'm here in Japan, so I had a 30% discount code that they sent me, and I used that, and that took off a bunch of money, but then they added it all back for the shipping. So basically, I got this at the retail price with free shipping, kind of, if you want to see it that way. It took about 3 weeks to get here. It just arrived today. The reason I bought this is because most of these I do not know. Most of these albums I do not know. I know Sticky Fingers very well. I know Exile on Main Street extremely well. I know both those extremely, extremely well. I know Goat's Head Soup quite well. I know It's Only Rock and Roll, basically. You know, I know Black and Blue fairly well. I know Some Girls extremely well. Emotional Rescue, I don't think I've ever heard it. I must have heard it once, but I don't remember. Tattoo You, don't think I've ever heard it. When I was like 11 years old, I had the single of Undercover, but I never heard the album. Dirty Work, I've never heard. I know it's infamous. Steel Wheels, I did hear because I had that on CD back when I saw them live. I had the Steel Wheel. I don't really remember it though. Voodoo Lounge and Bridges to Babylon, I don't think I've ever heard, but I think I would like them because I love a bigger bang. You're not really supposed to like a bigger bang, but I thought it was great. Love it, love it. I only had probably the MP3s from back in the day, back in the Napster days. So I've only heard it. Apparently those MP3s are not great quality because everything back in those days was really like super, the volume was inflated, brick-walled, so they don't sound good. Always thought it sounded great. Anyway, and I've never heard Blue and Lonesome, so I'm looking forward to hearing the ones I don't know well and the ones I do know well. I've never had Exile on the Main Street on vinyl, actually. Okay, I better stop chattering so much and start paying attention before I break something. There's all of the albums that are here. This is such a good idea. As I said, I wish every artist would do this. Just have a box set of their studio albums or whatever. No nonsense. Well-made, good sounding, impossible to open for mental midgets like me. Let's see, what do I do? Okay. I'm sure there are records in here. There they are. Like, you know, why doesn't this exist for everybody? And this is apparently really well done. Even the Sticky Fingers has the original, like, not the original, but it has like the zipper that goes up and down on it. And it does. I know I used to have this album. I bought it from a flea market or something. I don't think it was the zipper type. So there it is. Let's see if this works. Ooh, that's a nice plastic bag. My hands are clean. They've pasted they've put a little plastic cover here so the zipper doesn't gouge into the cover of Exile on Main Street. Well, let's do the zipper. Well, let's not. Let's see. It's not hard, I just can't do it. All right. Is this actually how the original was? I don't get it. So, how does this come out? I'm gonna break something, I'm gonna tear something. Why is it not coming out? It's catching on the zipper. Well, isn't that ironic? Okay, here we go. The zipper. Do it like this. Oh, it's not great. Can't do that too much. And what's inside? Let's pull it out. It's going well so far. What is this? Let's see, well, here's the record. So we'll take the record out. Here is the record. The original label with the stamp-looking art on it. Oh, God, Sway. Sway. Has anything ever been as good as Sway? All right, Zipper, you confound me. I'm going to so break this thing. Now, here's a picture. Seen this picture before. Now, this was the original album that had this Andy Warhol designed tongue on it. Is that correct? Boy, just nothing wrong with that album. I thought you're supposed to look inside and there would be like a, the logo, like the tongue logo. Is this not supposed to come out, this piece? It's not supposed to come out. What is it? Okay, carefully zip it back up and never unzip it again. Ugh. I heard the originals of these often, the zippers would often break. So maybe they've copied even that. Anyway, put all this back. That is amazing. This may be the first album I listened to. I mean, I used to just listen to this album all the time. And I am one of those people who holds, I don't like these ones with the tape on them, sticky tape. I'm one of the people that holds Exile on Main Street in like super duper high regard. It's just, that's really what made me buy this. When I found out about this box set, it was like on a Saturday afternoon. And I was like, oh, that exists, huh? I'm not buying it for that. But I woke up the next morning and while I was eating breakfast, I was like, well, I want to hear a little bit. And I got my phone out and I said, hey, phone, play. I think I played Sweet Virginia. I played 2 or 3 songs from Exile on Main Street for breakfast. And that was by maybe late morning, I was like, all right. After I heard Sweet Virginia and Let It Loose, here's Exile Upon the Main Street. I bought this on CD. Even in the Napster era, I had this in such esteem that I bought the CD, which was unnecessary because it was the Napster era, but I did. But it's the only place I've ever heard it, really, I think. Now, this is a super thick version. I don't think the original was this thick, but they've made it in, or maybe it was, I don't know. But they've made it in this sort of like a box set. Don't know how clean this table is. How does this work? This it's okay. Exile, I've never seen the inside. It's only had that little CD. See, I've stuck the little plastic, I don't know, stupid things. Why do they make them with plastic sticky stuff? There's a bunch of stuff in here. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Ow. I'm not really, one thing I like about these sorts of box sets, like the George Harrison and this one, is that there's not a bunch of like extra stuff. I know some people like that kind of stuff. I don't really have much use for it. I do have some of that sort of stuff from being a member of the They Might Be Giants fan club. We got like key rings and stuff, but they're kind of fun, but it's not really necessary. This is just some postcards that apparently came with like the original first pressing of this album that are super rare now, but now they've been reprinted for this one. Postcards of the band hanging out in kind of pimp clothes and laughing about something. They're all different, slightly different, the same photo shoot, some dark little alley or something. And the best part, I guess that's a copy of the original, just like George Harrison, copy of the original inner sleeve, but nothing in it. It's just there because that's what existed. And the other one in a red, torn and frayed, loving cup. Now that morning that I played the stuff for breakfast, I played Sweet Virginia and then rocks off and rip this joint. I think those are the ones that I played. And that was all she wrote. All right, there you go. Exile upon Main Street, 1 and 2. May the good Lord shine a light on you. And I've heard, I'm not an audiophile, but I've heard that they all sound really, really good. They're certainly going to sound good enough for me on my modest little system. It's going to be, and I'm still getting used to that George Harrison set, and that was several weeks ago, and I'm still playing all the albums and still trying to get used to them, all the music, the ones I know, the ones I don't know. Now they've announced a new George Harrison box set, which I have decided I'm not going to buy. I just got too much already. Didn't go in there quite right. Well, I mean, you know, they should never let people like me have box sets. I'm just going to destroy them. All right. All right. Why don't you twist around like the green one, and then you can go in there. I'm wondering there it goes. I'm wondering what's going to be the first album I play. I may just do these. I did the George Harrison's not really in order, not in any order. I just did them how I wanted to. Did Brainwashed first one I played. All out of order. I might do the Rolling Stones the same way. I might kind of alternate between ones I know and ones I don't know, something like that. Or I may just play it by ear. I'm sure that's what I'll actually do. I'm in the mood for some 1983 Rolling Stones today, I will say. Okay. Now that does not have, Sticky Fingers does not have the little plastic cover anymore because I tore that off, so should probably be careful. How am I going to store that? Okay. Bounce them on here so they can fall off. So here's the thing. Am I going to have Torn and Frayed? Am I going to have Torn and Frayed in my head the rest of the making of this video? Or is something else going to replace it? Because, I mean, his coat is torn and frayed. I can't imagine something's going to replace that, but hey, there's a lot of music still coming. Goat's Head Soup. I agree. I do not like this cover all that much. I kind of like it now. It's kind of like, it is what it is, as they say. It's so ridiculous. It's kind of like familiar and silly. I think the original was like this super demonic like head with like blood and horns. Like that would be a lot cooler, you know. I think that's in here. I think I saw some picture of it or something. Oh, these are really, really well made. Like I think it's just like the George Harrison. I keep saying that. It's glossy when the originals were glossy, and they're matte when the originals were matte. I think is how this works. I mean, that's absurd. I think I used to have this on vinyl, and it was never one that I played all that often. I know all the songs, but just, you know, I've heard it maybe 10 or 15 times in my life, not hundreds and hundreds of times like the others. Goat's Head Soup. Oh boy. What were the sessions like for this album? What was it like to be there? Does anybody remember? Oh, here you go. Here's the original. I think this is supposed to be the original cover. You can see why somebody thought it was a bad idea, I guess, but somebody in charge of them. That is cool. That's cool. That's kind of similar to the Spanish version of the Sticky Fingers cover, which is sort of gory, but it's not cool. It's just kind of weird. This is gory and weird, but cool. It's also a little bit wrinkled. Not wrinkled, but like wavy. You can see that. Don't know why that is. It shouldn't be. It's been sitting flat, right? Oh well. It's just going to stay in here anyway. I'm not going to display it. I guess I could. Could frame it. I want to stare at that every day, all day. kind of. And I'm going to replace all of these. Are actually nice outer sleeves, except this, they're quite thick, except for the sticky thing, which I don't like. I'm just going to replace them with open ones, which I should have brought here. I don't have any right with me. Gatefold as it was. Okay. The thing I don't like about these bags with the tape on the outside is that you touch them and you get sticky fingers. Get it? Get it? It's a sense of humor like that which prevented me from becoming a rock star myself. Okay, what's next? Now this is a great example of why I bought this box set. I've heard the album probably 10 times in my life. It's been quite a while since I heard it. I wouldn't know all the songs. I remember I really like Fingerprint File. I like the title song, It's Only Rock and Roll. What else is on here? Short and Curly's and Dance Little Sister, is that on here? Anyway, I don't know it well enough. I would love to have like a really good vinyl copy of this. I'd like to have a good copy of like all of the Rolling Stones from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Oh, now I do, all in one set. I'm not going to miss the money. I mean, it's kind of a big chunk at the beginning, but oh man, I certainly don't miss the money from that George Harrison set. I was listening to, I heard all of All Things Must Pass a few days ago again. And I was like, oh God, that thing ends with Hear Me, Lord. One of the greatest songs of the album. After all the great, anyway, different video. Okay, this is not a gatefold. It is, but it is quite thick. Like the cardstock is thick, and it's also, the edges are thick, so all this stuff can fit inside. They really, really did that part right. What do we got in here? What were the sessions like for this album? There are some session people. No, it's not session people. That's, yeah. Ian Stewart, Nicky Hopkins, Billy Preston. Billy Preston's on every good album that was ever made. Keith Harwood. Don't quite know who that is. Andy Johns. Whew. And very simple credits and the record. The record is quite thick. No nonsense, just quality, quality, quality. This is great. I'm not even going to play these records. I like the box set already. I don't want to be ruined by the music. You know, it's stupid things like that that kept me from being a rock star. Okay. I think you can get all these, all of them or almost all of them individually. So before I convinced myself to buy the box set, I was thinking, well, I mean, do I really need sticky fingers? Because I used to have sticky fingers and I got rid of all my records like 20 years ago, and I'm buying records again now, but I'm not really interested in buying things that I used to have. As much as I still like the Beatles and the Led Zeppelin, I don't have any because I used to have it all and I want to buy new things. I still have like recordings of the Beatles. I still listen to them, but for vinyl, I just want kind of things that I didn't have before. So I was pricing all of these individually, and I got to like, I don't know, I think I got to the 90s, and I started thinking about it. I was like, just all of it, I want everything. I'll take a little bit of, because I never had Exile on Main Street. I was like, and I priced them all out. I was like, if I bought them all individually, it would cost a lot more. Just for what I want, it would be the same price as this. So, oh man. All right, Black and Blue. Black and Blue featuring what I think is an excellent, excellent cover. Can you imagine having taken this photograph as part of several for this photo shoot, I'm sure, and looking at it and going, let's do this one. And everybody's like, really? Like, yeah, let's do this one, and let's crop it like this through Mick's eyeball with smacked up Heath going, Amazing cover. What a great cover. And I like this album more than a lot of people do, I think. I've probably heard this one 10 or 15 times. And I really like the song whose name I can't remember. Is it Memory Motel? Oh, Fool to Cry, that's on here, right? There's the gatefold with them playing around in their white suits. I mean, they did the 70s as good as anybody. Anyway, I like this album a lot. This really dreamy, really druggy, weird vibe. Cherry O Baby, I like it all. It's kind of just real sweaty, kind of offhand reggae. Hot Stuff. That's Hot Stuff. I forgot about that song. Heina Greater Melody. I like melody. It's just a little jam. I like all of this. And we got us a new label too. A custom black and blue label. I'm really gonna look forward to this one. This is one of the ones I'm kind of like secretly. It's one of my not favorite albums because I haven't heard it all that much, but oh, there's something else. A lyric sheet. Was that part of the original? I don't know. I don't know if I had this on vinyl. I may have. Some of these I had on vinyl because I found them at flea markets, but I actually ended up getting to know them in the Napster era. In the Napster era is a euphemism for anyway. It's interesting for the Rolling Stones to put a lyric sheet because a lot of Rolling Stones songs I can't really tell what Mick is saying. Go Coast Lazy, bound for Carter Field. Kind of get that song. But. Oh, I guess I don't have that one song, whatever that song in my head anymore. Now it's gone back to Brown Sugar. Okay. Not even halfway through. This is the greatest 3 hours on YouTube. Okay. See you soon, guy. Look at Charlie. Look at all of them being awesome. Where's Bill Wyman? Oh, there's Bill. I forgot about Bill Wyman here. Sorry, Bill. They're all awesome. It's big, ridiculous, like was it Superman's dad or something? Zorlon or something. I don't know how that works. The big collar. Okay, now this I've heard about. My friend Kenneth had this album, or his parents had this album, so he had it in his collection. I think that's who that was. And it had the original cut. I don't know if it's the original cutouts because anyway, this is a die cut cover. You slide. This is actually from an old like department store circular ad. Just reprinted without permission. They put a bunch of celebrities' faces here, and as you slid out the inner sleeve, the faces would move to other faces. This is for wigs or something. Yeah, these are all wigs. Anyway, so they put a bunch of celebrities' faces. As I understand it, one of the celebrities got upset and said they were going to sue, so the record company said just take them all off, even if they haven't complained. And they did, except they left one on, and that was George Harrison. And then they replaced him with pictures of the actual band, the Rolling Stones. But anyway, so this comes with the, this was made with the original cutouts. I've got to be careful because I don't want to mess it up. Here's the album. I really, really know this album well because I used to have the 8-track tape back in the 90s, which is probably how I got to know some of these albums too. Here they all are with the lipstick drawn on and without the lipstick drawn on. I mean, say what you want. This really beats David Bowie's Scary Monsters album art, which is kind of the same thing, by 2 years. Came out 1 year, 78. It's pretty hip times. Another lyric sheet. Anyway, I know this album really well. I think it deserves all the plaudits that it gets. I think it's great. I like pretty much everything on here. Even Faraway Eyes I like. It's ridiculous and silly, but it's supposed to be. Love the title song. I love, I couldn't believe when I first heard Shattered. I thought, this is amazing. Just my imagination. Beast of Burden. I love Miss You. I mean, if someone's going to go disco, it might as well be the Rolling Stones. I like that. So I've heard this album many, many, many times. And now, many more to come. Don't you know the crime rate's going up, 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 up? Now, we're getting into the very, very interesting part for me because I've seen these, I've seen all these albums a billion times in record stores and internet lists and stuff like that. Like I've show me this and I know instantly what it is. Oh, it's Emotional Rescue by the Rolling Stones. But I don't know the music. I don't know any of these songs. Dance, Summer Romance, Send It To Me. I don't know any of these. I think I've heard She's So Cold once or twice, but how could I not just miss this? I don't know. So we got something going on here. We got the record. We've got some very heavy, giant looking thing here. Is this one poster or is this two posters? I'm hypnotized. Ooh, don't tear it. That was not a tear. It's actually the poster was stuck to itself a little bit. Okay. This is gigantic. It goes way down there. I can't tell what it is. Oh, that's a face. And the other side. Well, this is... Okay, that's a little more... That would be an odd thing to hang up. I don't know if I'll hang that up. I don't know if I'll be able to fold it back together. I'm just kidding. I know I won't be able to fold it back together. Okay, you go like that. Best 5 hours on YouTube. There you go. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this guy here. Great things about it. Don't know why I've never heard it. I like to put the records so you can easily slide them out without having to take the inner thing out. You don't like it? You just can lump it. This is another one they made quite thick on the other edges, not the open edge, but they made the spines thick so you can get all this stuff in. Not that I can do it. Okay, that's not going to work. It has to be like this. That's my problem. After all the trauma of trying to get this record, this poster back in the record, I'm going to need some emotional rescue. You know, it's jokes like that that Christmas time for me. I know it's June, but still. Okay, and now, an extremely famous album cover, certainly, Tattoo You. How awesome. Keith, the idea of Keith is so awesome that even this is awesome. So, these songs on here, Start Me Up, Hang Fire, Slave, Little TNA, Black. This has got Waiting on a Friend on it. Oh, love that song. Of course, I know Start Me Up and Waiting on a Friend. I can play Waiting on a Friend on guitar. It's pretty simple. It's so good, though. So anyway, I don't know this album except those two songs, I think. And so it's great to have this on a nice vinyl copy that I can play and it will sound good. I think I just saw this a couple days ago on the internet, or a few days ago. I'd never seen this inner thing before, but this is awesome. That is so cool. It's just kind of the senseless, meaningless, nonsensical little image they put, but I think that's cool. I mean, that's cool. Okay, there you go. Tattoo You. Tattoo You. I always thought of this album as Tattoo You, but I was watching something the other day. Somebody was saying like Tattoo You, and I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe it's not Tattoo You, it's Tattoo You. Maybe it doesn't matter. Tattoo You. I don't know what that means. Tattoo me? No. Tattoo. Is it a joke? Maybe it's like a pun it's obvious. Tattoo You? No, it's not a pun. Not a pun, a palindrome. So that was what, 1981, I think, was Tattoo You? Tattoo You. And, how you holding up, guys? And then this is when I was, oh wait, there's something else in here. It's a tongue. This coupon allows you to access all the tracks from this box set as MP3 or WAV downloads. Please note the latest stereo remasters have been supplied for this download card. Is that different than these? I wouldn't notice that. And there's a download code. Well, that's pretty good. I wasn't expecting that. I usually don't even bother with the download codes. Why would I? Anyway, so now we're getting to the era when I was first aware of the Rolling Stones in real time, because when this album came out, Undercover, it was 1983, I think. I was 10 years old. I bought the, something for you too, see if that gets past the censors. I bought the single of Undercover the Night, which I always loved, and had a picture sleeve of this on it. That was pretty scandalous for a 10-year-old or 11-year-old or something to have, but I really liked the song. Still like the song. And it was like, I had all these like kind of 80s drums and like synths or something. But I thought it was great. So I'm lucky that I found that song at that time, because otherwise I might not like this. But it got into me when I was 10 years old, so now it's fine. Woo! I don't think I know anything else on the album. I'm sure there was a B-side to this single, the 45 I had, but is that something in the original? Subscribe to Beggar's Banquet. Here's Mick and Keith looking sort of respectable in the 80s. The Rolling Stones Beggar's Banquet. Anyway. So I didn't hear anything else from this album, I don't think. Very glossy inner sleeve. Very glossy and well, good printing. Another glossy kind of album slick with a glossy lyrics on the back. Undercover of the Night. And the album. So I'm looking forward to this. I think obviously this and Dirty Work are the sort of the two infamous Stones albums from the 80s that have their detractors. But when you buy a set like this, you just learn to love everything. I'm here to enjoy it. Time has passed. I love the album cover, even of Dirty Work. Once I get Undercover back in the outer cover. There was a joke there waiting to happen and I didn't get it. Anyway, once I get this in, we'll go to Dirty Work. But another great one. Too Much Blood, Pretty Beat Up, Too Tough All the Way Down, It Must Be Hell. Feel On Baby, Wanna Hold You. I've heard that the lyrics are just excessively violent and angry and bloody. I don't know why. I don't know what was going on with Mick Jagger at the time, but we'll see. I always liked Undercover. Okay, this one is Dirty Work. And as I understand it, this is how the album was sold in the UK. I don't know if what I'm saying is true or accurate. It was sold like this in the UK with this sort of red, translucent outer sleeve, kind of like Stereotomy by Alan Parsons. And when you take it off, it's a regular color photo of the band sitting around, these ridiculous 80s colors. This is, okay. But apparently it wasn't sold with this red thing. It was just sold as is with the regular color photo in the US and became much mocked. But, you know, like this is actually kind of cool looking. And if you think like bright 80s colors are a bad fit for the Stones, then you might look at this and go, that's a good album cover, until you get to the inside. I like both. So this is, I'm not going to open this right now, because this is like hard shrink wrapped to it, so I can't actually get inside. What am I going to do about that? I'll have to research that later, because I don't want to mess anything up that I don't want to mess up. But of course I know Harlem Shuffle really well. Again, I knew this one in real time, and One Hit to the Body, which I think are both fine. So I bet I like the rest of that. I don't know if I think I have heard this once. Probably had the MP3s or something. I don't know how I'm going to get in and listen to it, but I guess do I have to like sacrifice the red thing if I want to see the inside? Just throw it away? Maybe. Okay, now, Steel Wheels. I had this one on compact disc, which was sort of newish at the time, CDs. but I saw them on this tour, so I did, at that time, hear this CD a few times. I don't really remember it. I don't even remember the hits. Rockin' a Hard Place, Mixed Emotions, I remember those, basically. Almost Hear You Sigh, that's good. Is that the Keith Richards song? That's a good song. So yeah, I think it's kind of like a little bit more professional, a little colder and professional Stones, but still good. So I'm gonna enjoy this one too. There's Mick and the guys. Posing, purely posing by this point, but still making some cool music. Yep. Still, anything else? Yes, there's something else. When this came out, I wasn't even really into records anymore. I was getting like, these CDs are all right. And then I got back into records probably 1992 or something, 91. Anyway, little advertisement for other Stones albums, including Love You Live, which is not in here. Neither is Still Life, but I don't mind that. Not a big fan of live stuff. All the greatest hits like Sucking in the 70s and where's Sucking in the 70s? And whatever that is. That's Sucking in the 70s. That's Made in the Shade. It's the eyes. Anyway, so Steel Wheels, their big comeback album. You're not the only one. I bet I would like this. Like when I think of my vague memories of this album, they kind of sound like A Bigger Bang, which I absolutely love A Bigger Bang. I heard A Bigger Bang when, like, roughly after it came out, a little bit after it came out, and I was like, why isn't everybody talking about this? This is amazing. Like, this is the best thing since Exile on Main Street. I remember thinking that. I'll have to hear it again. I haven't heard it all the way through in a few years, but play it again here and see if I still think that. Okay, now we're getting into the really, really, truly interesting part. Because I think, again, based on my Bigger Bang, I hate to say that, Bigger Bang theory, that's not what I meant. My theory, oh God, the worst pun came out naturally. Based on the fact that I like that album, I think I would probably like these albums. I've heard this once maybe, and I've heard Bridges to Babylon once maybe. I don't remember them. I remember them being vaguely the same as A Bigger Bang. I think if I, now that at this time in my life, when I can sit down and pay attention, I got this, and actually give it a fair shot, give it a shot, I think I'm gonna like these two. I just like what they were into. I like how they became cold professionals. They did it well. Like these albums are good, I think. And it's a gatefold with another nice evil satanic gatefold, inner gatefold. All kinds of weird shapes and ghosts and stuff on it, goblins. And album once, double album, because it was the CD era, so everything had to be 80.0 minutes by law. There they are, looking evil and stuff. That's a good looking band right there. That's cool. Bunch of lyrics. I don't know any of these songs. One of these was a hit, I think, but I don't know which one. Record 1. And I don't think I even would have heard it then. Back when this came out, which is 1994 maybe, I was listening to Red Crayola records. I had no idea what was going on. Never heard that many grunge albums. I like Nirvana a lot, but I never heard a Pearl Jam. I don't think I've heard a Pearl Jam song all the way through. Maybe a couple. So I was not paying attention to the world at this time. So I missed this album, along with everything else that came out in 94, but there it is, now I've got it. What was the hit on here? I don't know. So, that's going to be awesome. That's one of that. I may play this one not first. I'm going to probably play something I know first. Probably play Exile first or Sticky Fingers, but this is going to be one of the early ones I play. And then I might hold off on Bridges to Babylon to make it more interesting later. I gotta play Bigger Banquet too. A bigger banquet, a bigger bang. Oh, the puns are flying about a bigger bang theory. That's pretty good. I didn't even notice. My brain knew it before I did. Am I really putting this on YouTube? I don't know. Got it on vinyl. a good copy too. And say what you want, I have always loved this cover. I loved it from the first time I saw it. I love the colors. I love the whole style of it. It doesn't suit the Rolling Stones at all. I don't care. I just like it. I just like it. That's so cool. Rolling Stones have weird album covers. None of them are really satisfying in a way, you know. They're all, Voodoo Lounge is all right, but there's no like theme. There's no consistency of style or anything. It's just, they're all a little bit disappointing, so much so that they all add up to something that's like kind of satisfying. And I like this one. And I especially like having this big old thing on vinyl. It's not a gatefold, but it's a double record, and so it's made real thick on the edges, on the spines. Whoa. Here they are, pretending to be happy and friends and stuff, although it's just a business relationship at this point, but it's a good one. I don't know that. I don't know anything about them, really. Okay, so there's both the original inner sleeves, I guess. I don't know if they're original, but they're glossy. Not too thick, but glossy. And the long-playing vinyl albums with custom labels. That's pretty cool. Rolling Stones, Bridges to Babylon. Again, I think there was probably a hit, or probably something like one pretty good hit and one minor hit, something like that. 1997, I think this came out. I don't know what the hits were. Maybe I can figure it out. Flip the Switch. Anybody seen My Baby? I think that might have been the single. Gunface. Saint of Me. I think that was... These song titles actually look familiar. I don't, the songs aren't, but the song titles are. Pretty sure I had this one back in the Napster days, whatever that means. I don't have these now. I don't know what I did with those MP3s. I didn't have any MP3s, but if I had, I wouldn't know what they happened to them. Go in! All right. Bridges to Babylon. Okay, two more. Two more. Another thing I like about this set over the George Harrison set is there's no picture discs. The picture discs I got in the George Harrison set were very, very well made as far as something to look at, but they did not sound good. And they're sort of pointless in a big box by themselves. Bigger Bang Theory. Okay, here we go. Oh, one of the big ones, one of the big selling points for me. If you don't like this album, fair enough. I do. I don't know why it just hit me in the right way at the right time. Also, around the time it came out, is I think it came out like a year after I moved to Japan, and when I went to karaoke, and I still go to karaoke these days, I still sometimes sing songs from this album. They have Rain Fell Down in karaoke bars here. What else? There's another one. Oh, I like everything. I like everything on the album. I thought there's no... To me, it's a really, really long album. You know, it's like 80 minutes, I guess, in the CD era, but there was no wasted tracks. I liked all of them. There were some that were just kind of repetitive. Oh, yeah, it's a Rolling Stones song, but they were good, you know. Rough Justice being a good example, a great opener. Kind of a glowy little version of their logo. And so Rain Fell Down, and what's the other one? I'm so dumb. Streets of Love, I think. Oh, those are good songs. Rain Fall Down, it says. Rain Fall Down. Anyway, here it is. It's not brick walled. It's not some sleazy little 128 MP3 I found somewhere. This is on high quality vinyl. It's gonna sound so good. Ooh. And over here. Oh, Laugh, I Nearly Died. That's the song they have here. Laugh. You should hear me do it in karaoke. It's awful. I love it. Oh, no, not you again. I like Oh, no, not you again and Dangerous Beauty are songs that are just like, yep, that's the Stones. Why are these songs on here? But I like them. I like them. I love Keith Richards' Infamy and This Place Is Empty. Look what the cat dragged in. I like Sweet Neocon. Driving Too Fast. Yeah, it's just good. They're all good. They're all good. Just love listening to this. So much fun. I like the cover. I really like the cover of this one. So much so that I don't befoul it by putting records in it. Well, am I doing this right? We have a flaw. It's flawed. I'm sending it back. Whole box set. Don't want it. Don't want it. Where's the quality control? No, I'll keep it. These are the kind of records, like I'm just like the George Harrisons. I'm going to put them all on my record shelf. I took those out of the George Harrison set box. I just stuck them on my shelf like with the regular albums. And I just love, hang on a second. I just love looking at the spines. I'm going to look at all these and go, look at all those Rolling Stones records. I can play anything from 71 to now that I want to. Unless I want to hear Still Life. I don't want to hear Still Life. Rough Justice, oh yeah! Yeah, that replaced that whatever song I had in my head before. Rough Justice did it. Rough Justice is really the one that knocked the Exile on Main Street song out of my head. And one more. I have never heard this song. Ooh, wait, before we get there, there's something else here. There is a thick cardboard. Oh, it's numbered. This box set is numbered. Number 1589. That is really important in Rolling Stones history. 1589. You know what that? Oh my! I could sell this for $3,000. Or maybe not. Anyway, it's just a list of the albums. I don't know what this is for. Extra cardboard, in case you like cardboard. And Blue and Lonesome, which I have never heard, but I've heard very, very good things about. And I've also heard that it sounds really, really good on vinyl. Despite being a big Rolling Stones fan, not really much of a blues fan. Unless you're talking about really early kind of acoustic type blues. I like that stuff. Like I don't like Eric Clapton type blues, but you know, I like Rolling Stones type blues, I guess. So here we go, kind of a matte cover. Gorgeous, gorgeously printed thing. There they all are with their guitars and their drums and their whatnot. That's cool. That's a great picture. And a double album again. They're all covers of old blues songs, I think. Is that the deal? Don't know. There's Keith. There's Mick. There's the first album. Not blue vinyl. I think there was a blue vinyl version of this. And if not, how could there not have been? But I think there was. This is all black vinyl. It's fine with me. And one more, and then it's all over. It's all over. I used to have new Rolling Stones records to look at, but it's all over now. Let's see. And one more. The great Charlie Watts. The great Ron Wood, if you'd let him. And all Willie Dixon. Otis Hicks. Walter Jacobs. All right. I think it's going to be good. It's not really my kind of music. This is one that if I had bought them all individually, I probably wouldn't have bought this one. But that just means I need to get over myself and get into it, because I bet it's pretty good. Okay. Put Blue and Lonesome from 2016, is that right? Put that back. Put it on the pall. And there you go. There's your box. There's your Rolling Stones box. So I'm going to go listen to a bunch of Rolling Stones albums, but I'm also going to rotate a few George Harrisons in amongst them, plus the other stuff that I have. So I will see you again in about 300 years after I've listened to all these and absorbed them all, and I know every note on every album. Mwah.